I think they realize now that we're serious, and I think Senator Tillis is pretty much on the same page that I am. So they better get real, and there's not much time left.
Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas yesterday, prior to the postponement of a vote to advance the nomination of Todd Blanche as U.S. Attorney General.
They know what the problem is. I mean, the problem, Lemire, is that Blanche will not put in writing that they're not going to have that corrupt IRS still, where everybody gets a get out of jail free card if they break the laws of this land.
Yeah, Blanche had verbally committed to do that, but for these senators, they say that's not enough, and it's two things. It's these IRS protections for Trump, his family, his businesses going forward, just extraordinary, unprecedented shielding was being considered there, as well as
corruption.
That's the corruption and the slush fund, the weaponization fund that could be even used for January 6th convicted felons, and Blanche simply won't rule that out. And the other lesson, guys, here is this is also one of the reasons why presidents don't usually oppose sitting senators of their own party in their primaries, right? Because when you pick them off, they feel like they don't owe you anything anymore.
Yeah.
Also on Capitol Hill yesterday, Dr. Anthony Fauci refused.
Oh, you know, I was waiting for this hearing. And Lemire, I'll tell you why I was waiting for this hearing. Because I was so excited that the Republicans were finally going to admit that the president that they had been a member of a personality cult with for a decade now had actually told Bob Woodward that he lied to the American people about the COVID virus. He knew it was bad. And Rand Paul, of course, heard Donald Trump's tape with Bob Woodward saying, yeah, I lied to the American people. I didn't tell them how bad it was going to be because I didn't want to hurt the Dow Jones. And Jonathan, time and time again, he kept saying, oh, it's just one person from China. It's going to go away in January and February. He said, this is nothing. It'll be gone by April. On and on and on. I'm so glad. I didn't see the hearings yesterday, but I understand.
I did.
They must have said that, right, Jonathan?
Joe, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's not quite how yesterday played out. The Republicans, in a particular, stand right. I know. Check your notes.
Shocking.
I know. This is just poor show prep, I guess. We needed to. But yeah, this is. Take a look. That's not what happened. There was none of that. There was no admission that President Trump knew how bad this was going to be and didn't tell the American people.
They talked about the disinfectants under the skin and the lights under the skin, right? They did bring that up, right?
I'm getting in my ear.
The part where he didn't tell the American.
That didn't happen either. No,
okay.
it's
all right,
no,
we'll
none of that.
it.
None of that happened. Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. I bet Mika has something to say about this.
A full report ahead for you since you didn't do your show prep. I did it for you. Also ahead, MS Now legal reporter Lisa Rubin joins us to discuss new reporting on Secret Service agents surveilling former FBI Director James Comey to dramatic extents, really. And we'll bring you the latest from the Middle East, where the Iran war is expanding, with Saudi Arabia now involved. It comes as there is new reporting that President Trump is frustrated with the conflict and members of his own administration.
We're talking about a lot this morning. I mean, the Fauci thing, just sheer political theater. They shamed themselves. We Americans needed answers yesterday. We needed answers on the origins of this, the best information they had, the thinking about closing down schools, the thinking about all these other things. I mean, and if it had been a normal hearing where you didn't have the chairman of the committee going in saying, I'm going to put Anthony Fauci behind bars, then as the Wall Street Journal said, we could have had that open conversation. But you start with your chairman saying, I'm going to put him behind bars. Yeah, what you're doing is you're staging nothing but a show trial.
Well,
and so
great performance.
He didn't play along. It's some embarrassing performances, guys swearing that
okay.
And then you had other people, what's the color of your tie? What's the color of the carpet?
Okay.
It was such a...
Maybe you did do show prep.
Okay, I just get... Alex just told me this there. It was such a clown show But there are still open questions on the origins of this virus.
All right, we'll have more.
And by the
that.
way, I just want to say really quickly, if they had asked Dr. Fauci or any other scientist, why did you close down schools? Because in retrospect, that looked like such a horrible mistake. Fauci probably would have said yesterday, and other scientists would have said, well, in our last pandemic, the 1919 pandemic, that was so deadly, it actually spread and attacked younger Americans. Mm-hmm. So those schools, and I remember this being said by everybody at the time of the virus, the schools were the super spreaders during the 1919 pandemic, and that is the only pandemic that we had to work off of. But we didn't get a chance to hear that yesterday because the entire hearing was framed with, I'm going to put the guy who's testifying here behind bars.